Hi and welcome to this week's chess session on YouTube here by yours truly, David Wegener here from Christchurch, New Zealand. I welcome you. Thank you for coming to have a look at this channel. So here we go. This is what I'm currently doing with my young junior in coaching. I'm coaching him in piece work and piece operation and all that sort of thing, and it's very boring, isn't it, really? But what I'm doing is I'm instilling in him an appreciation of his pieces, and when he hasn't got his all his pieces on board, like every young junior likes to have, their queen especially, then they have more fun and all that sort of stuff. But chess is about like baking a cake. Now, the ingredients that go on a cake are primarily, and categorically speaking, whatever, eggs, flour, butter, milk, I think, and not yeast. I've tried yeast, but they're the main ingredients, and a lot of the ingredients are also aeration, which is to beat the eggs and put air and oxygen in them so that you create a position for it to be able to rise. So that's cake making and all that sort of stuff. Not that I know completely a lot about it, but I do know that word aeration because I have done catering school. I went to catering school a long time ago. But when we make a cake, if we miss out on eggs, or if we miss out on butter, or if we miss out on milk, which is a liquid, of course, so if we miss out on, or flour, which is a joining up, it combines it, it gives it body, and if we don't have those things, then the cake doesn't work. I know a particular instance that I'm not going to share on YouTube whereby someone, not me, forgot to put eggs in their microwave cake, and so I won't go into detail, but the cake was like a solid rock. So if we have appreciation of two bishops, or a bishop and a knight versus a king of course, versus a king with a bishop and a knight, if we have appreciation of how to win this game, then we will appreciate when we do have our full board of pieces on the board in any game of chess. So we will end up respecting our pieces and not just thinking they're nothing and we only care about our queen, for example, or something like that, or we only care about checkmate. Sometimes we just don't, we never ever get a look in at checkmate because our opponent is just basically better than us. So, and there's a lot of people here in New Zealand that are better than me. And I'm quite surprised I've even got, I'm currently in the 42nd place for rapid. I don't know how I'm even in the top 100 for New Zealand, because frankly I'm not doing very well in rapids. It's 5-minute chess that I'm doing very well in. So when we have ingredient like this, two bishops and a king, and we have a knowledge of how to use our bishops, and then we have an appreciation of how to use maybe 3 knights to checkmate, even though 2 knights is possible where your opponent has a pawn on board that you blockade, blah blah blah. So when you have 2 bishops or 2 knights or 3 knights in the end game and that sort of thing against the king, you can checkmate, but not with 2 knights. And bishop and knight, of course, win. And most times when you have a pawn only versus the enemy king, it's generally a win, but there are examples of it not being a win. where you don't put your king in front, or you have an H pawn or an A pawn, which is very hard, and you can't queen it unless the opponent purposely gets out the way for your pawn marching, which does happen. So if you have an appreciation of the ingredients of chess, in this case 2 bishops or 2 knights or a rook versus a king, how to do it quickly, and that sort of thing, it will help you in your overall handling of all the ingredients of a chess game at hand. So that's what I'm doing with my junior. But that's not what I'm actually doing here today on this weekly session today. Today I have for you a game that I played on Sunday against a grandmaster. Now the game was played on chess.com after church, and of course I'm black and my opponent is white, and my opponent's name is Antonio, and I haven't actually checked what country he's from as such. Or is that his last name? It's his last name. His last name's Antonio. So, I think it is. So, you might like to check out who that is. So, I met an international master on Sunday after church in this 5-minute encounter. So, here we go. I'll flip the board because, as I've said, I'm black, and I will turn the engine off, and here we go. Without further ado, that might be a bit scary, that smile, that sneer, that Cheshire grin. So here I'm playing my my French setup, F5 French, which is sort of like kind of mine only, but it does get played, of course, at other events or whatever. So here's bishop e2, bishop e7, just reflect each other, castle, castle, 95, c6, just to bolster up the d5 pawn. In this case, the international master is not attacking my pawn on d5 with c4, but I've just noticed in the small print his other name. So anyway, I'm going to run with this. So I'm sure he'll be okay with me putting this on the internet. So c6, and now came f3. Ouch. Stopping my knight from going to e4. So f3, and it's like, can't I have any fun or ingredients here? And that's another thing I want to say within this 5-minute game that I played on Sunday after church, which is important for me to put my ingredients of life in the right, correct order, else things just don't go well for me. So, and that's not the reason I put those things in order. And so I've got someone ringing, but I'm not going to answer it because I can't. So that's I've got that on silent. So let's get on with this. That phone's going to keep ringing, and we'll just reject it. Oh, it's rejected. It's already rejected. So I can't place my knight on e4 because obviously it will just get captured by the pawn. Not the knight, but the pawn. So here I play knight d7, and here my opponent supports their outpost on e5, their knight on e5, with bishop f4. So here I've reached this position. I'm sitting there going, I'm playing an international master. I know I've played grandmasters too, but I'm playing an international master. It's really fun when you see the wee box with the white lettering IM or GM or FIDE FM or even candidate master, especially if it's from New Zealand or Australia. It's very much fun when you see that happen, because you think, oh, here's going to be a good game. It's going to be a challenging game. And obviously I can't throw my knight onto e4. So what I do now is I play something that I would probably say is not a good idea, but I play it anyway. Okay, so I cannot forget the time I read a New Zealand chess magazine, one of our strong Olympiad representatives was playing a grandmaster at the Olympics, or the Olympiad, Chess Olympiad, and his opponent, the grandmaster, played with his king on g8, g5. And he said he wouldn't have seen that move or considered that move in a million years, and he did lose the game. So I play a similar move, trying to be like a grandmaster, aren't I? As I play knight h5. And so I'm obviously just threatening, that lovely word that Judge Rinder loves, obviously. I'm obviously threatening knight takes f4. So my opponent just goes back to c1. And here I play, is it f4? Yes, it's f4. I play f4 here. And here my opponent, what did my opponent play now? Was it bishop d3, I think? Yes, bishop d3. Now here, the game is shortly hereafter over. Now the thing is, what I'm trying to say about openings is, if you learn the e3 opening, just simple platform for opening, you can just learn the e3 opening for white and black if you just don't want to enter into all the analysis of the openings of chess. So all you have to do is just find the moves which explain themselves as they go, which are e3, d4, f4, knight f3, bishop e2, castles, knight bd2 or something like that, or knight e5 first and then knight bd2, knight f3, bishop d2, or b3 and a4 and bishop a3, or whatever. So they're easy moves to find over the chessboard. It just reminds me of what Magnus Carlsen is playing with his Scandinavian rat opening, which is quite good. So here I believe that black has a one game, and I will actually ask, no I won't. So here I played a move that everyone may be accustomed of, but it's better for you to just have a look at this in your head. So here I played a certain move that leads the game to about 3 times 2 moves, or maybe even 4 moves, and my opponent, the international master Antonio Martorelli, or Martorelli Antonio, resigned. So here I played knight takes e5, a move easier to see, because I mean, I'm just like capturing a piece and we're exchanging. So here comes de5. Now the next move is very easy to find because it involves a checking mechanism, which is quite easy to find. So there's only 2 checks here, and so I could play queen b6 check, but I played here bishop c5 check. Now really, maybe the best move for white is rook here. In fact, it's probably what the computer would play. Okay, I think that the computer would probably play rook f2. Yes, that's correct. So that's better than what my opponent played. But my opponent played here the other move, which is king h1. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to find the 2 mover, or how many moves it is. It might be 3. So to find the 2 mover for checkmate. So it's very simple because it involves a forcing move. You should know me by now. I like to force moves. In life too, I like to force people around instead of doing things in a more sort of a relaxed fashion. I like to get an answer right here and now, but that doesn't work like that often. So I'm probably just as bad as what I don't like too much as I consider myself. I like things done instantly, but it's specifically very nice when it can be against an international master of chess. Who knows, the international master might be 8 years old, or might be now 89 years old, I'm not sure. So the move I played, thank you for finding it, is knight g3. Now this is obviously a check, but you could say, well, doesn't the pawn just take your knight? Yep. So it's the only move. The only move here is to take the knight. So now what? Do I play queen here with the idea of queen here checkmate, or something like that, or what do I do? Here I just play fg3. Now that's worth, this pawn alone is worth a rook in some situations. Is worth a rook or 6 points on the chessboard. A pawn like this, but especially that it's so deadly, because now just queen h4 is going to be devastating to white's game. So white, I'm not sure whether they did this as a knee jerk or not, played this move here. Now if I play this wrong, I can actually, so queen h4 checkmate is threatened. So if I play this wrong, white can get a defense, but only for a few seconds. So bishop h7, I went king h7, and this is where the game ended. After queen d3, I prepared bishop f5 in my mind's eye. And there, without the loss of the queen, white's going to get checkmated. And the best scenario is this, 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 and this, to just cover the square on e3 diagonal, okay, for the king to go to g1. That is the end of the session. I hope you enjoyed this week's chess session on YouTube, and I do thank you for viewing, and I hope you want to come back next time. Thank you. Bye. All the best with your chess, no matter where it is, no matter how good you are. I hope your chess improves greatly, so that we can all enjoy the game of chess, even though I'm only number 42 for Rapid, which I'm very surprised with, that I'm even 42nd in New Zealand. I feel like I'm 42nd in my part of town, Linwood, Christchurch. Thank you.